Well, hello and welcome to a fabulous new episode of the podcast you just can't get enough of. It's Melanin Mayhem with your favorite country girl, Renee Davis. If this is your first time joining us over here at the Cathedral of Mayhem, let me tell you, visitors are always welcome and we don't even pass the plate round here, honey. It's come as you are and leave feeling crazy because I'm going to put you up on some shit you probably never heard about. See, over here at Melanin Mayhem, I bring you the stories of some of the most heinous, diabolical, and downright fucktastical crimes committed by some melanated baddies that didn't get no play in mainstream media for the shit they did. You see, my mission in life is to dispel the myth that there are crimes that black people don't do. That's cap and a trap. Believing this is the quickest way to fuck around and find out. I'm just saying. Okay, now that we have made our guests feel all settled in and whatnot, New One Nation. Ooh, it's Virgo season and I'm feeling good all over, baby. Honey, by the time you are hearing this, your girl will be deep off in her Mediterranean cruise. Ooh, baby. I am sending love to my boo things from Greece, baby. I can't wait to tell y'all all about it when I get back. This is my first time taking a Virgin cruise. I love to cruise, but this is the first time I'm doing a Virgin Voyages. Baby, honey, the no kids of it all is giving me life. We would have left Atlanta flying to Athens, Greece on Saturday, and we will return back to the port in Athens the following Sunday. So I'm back in the States like the 21st of September. Ooh, 7 whole nights to bring in this 50th year that God has blessed me in. Oh my Lord. It is crazy saying that I am 50 years old. I swear, y'all, I don't feel a day over 30 in my head. But I have to say, this left knee of mine, oh, it's definitely a 75 model. We need to upgrade this bitch immediately. Too much dropping it like it was hot in them stilettos, baby, and I am paying for that shit now. I don't care though. As long as I got y'all, I can make it through, honey. I will just hobble on. Although I am thinking of doing a podcast on the shit they don't tell you about when you get older. Like, man, this bitch perimenopause? Oh, this hoe more gangster than any of the subjects that we have talked about on Melanin Mayhem or Love Kills. Shit, we need to compare notes. Let me know what y'all think about that. I mean, the majority of my audience is 25 to 60. So half of y'all already here with me, and the other half, y'all on deck and need to be getting prepared because I'm telling you, this shit ain't no joke. Anyway, real quickly, because I'm telling y'all, my body is here recording, but I'm already on the boat. Now, this episode should be dropping on September 17th, and your favorite country girl is chilling somewhere in Bodrum, Turkey. Please understand that I am somewhere letting a strange man scrub my body and rub me down with oils and potions, and I'm loving it every goddamn minute of it. I don't know what it is. I will get bucket naked for a stranger in a spa type of situation. And baby, with the exchange rate being so lovely, my darlings, my dollars stretch the long way in Turkey. I'm talking $1 US is like 40 Turkish liras. So the massage man gonna be running it back several times. Woo-hoo, baby, the Turkish bath of it all. I brought in my 50th birthday on this planet in Santorini, Greece, y'all. I will have posted the pictures on social media because I wanted y'all to celebrate with me because I love y'all so much. Even before I left, I had New Orleans Nation members reaching out to me, asking me for my cash out so they could send me a love offering. Well, y'all know I don't turn down nothing but my collar, so I quickly let it be known that $ Virgo Vixen is how you can bless the country girl. And quiet as it's kept, the cash app is still open and receiving if y'all in the blessing business. Again, that was $ Virgo Vixen. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you know, don't forget your tickets to Crime Cocktails and Canvases, the live event October 18th right here in Atlanta. Link to the tickets is in the show notes as well as on the social media pages. Okay, so let's get to the reason we show up every week. We got some shit to talk about, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I wanted to do this story because it's a cautionary tale about being careful how you treat people. Lately, I've been doing some part-time work to make my excursion money for all my Virgo season shenanigans, and I have had the opportunity to observe people and to see how titles make some people feel like they the shit and they can talk to people any kind of way. And I gotta tell you, I think those days are over, New One Nation. People are on edge and they are just one harsh word away from crashing the fuck out. Like, do y'all remember when it was a rare thing for somebody to go harm somebody in their place of work? Like, they had a whole phrase for it. It was called going postal, because at the time, the only motherfuckers that was doing that shit, they worked at the post office, and they was the only ones that were coming into the job and setting it off. And when it happened, it was shock and amazement all around. Shit like that just didn't happen. Nobody shot up their job. I mean, just because you mad or you got fired or demoted or a personality conflict. But now this shit happens on a regular, and I just don't think that it's sinking into the psyche of these people at these jobs that maybe, just maybe, you might want to shut the fuck up talking to people like they lesser than, or maybe, just maybe, you should be mindful that your job don't have metal detectors and anybody can walk in with anything. But nope. Ignorant people that talk a lot of shit are still plentiful. Well, today's case is just a little something to stick in the back of your mind about what could had possibly happened because somebody was in their feelings. So today, we are going back to Colorado. I know that's where we were at last week. I don't know. Aurora, it goes the fuck down out there, huh? Well, today, this is a quick one. Like I said, I think it's warranted because I would hate for something to happen at your job because of some BS and you not be prepared. I mean, this still falls squarely under one of those types of crimes that black folks supposedly don't do, which is workplace mass shootings. But we do that shit. And here I am with a story of one of the first motherfuckers to do it. Now, the crime is heinous. The nigga that did it, diabolical. And we gonna drag the fuck out his ass in the little time that we got to pull this story together. So let's go on ahead and bring this motherfucker to the front of the congregation. It's another one of them YNs that's crashing out all over the place. This week's Melanin Mayhem maker is Mr. Nathan Dunlap, aka the Chuckie Cheese Killer. Okay, New One Nation. Like I said, there is not a lot of meat on this bone, but y'all know, honey, I know how to turn a snack into a feast. So let me go on ahead and do what I do. Nathan Gerard Dunlap was born April 8th, 1974 in Chicago, Illinois. His parents were Jerry and Carol Dunlap. Now, Daddy Jerry, he was in the Army, and when he got discharged, he continued to work for the Army as a civilian, though. Now, his mama, Carol, Miss Carol, she was a stay-at-home mother, and according to the street committee, she suffered from a little bit of mental illness. Yeah, Carol, they said she struggled with depression and schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So mama was certifiable with her mental health. Because daddy was in the military, they bounced around a lot, as military families tend to do. But eventually they settled in Aurora, Colorado. Now, with daddy being active duty, he wasn't around a lot. And with Carol suffering from mental illness, Nathan had a lot of instability and toxicity in his little young life, oftentimes being shuttled off to various family members to look after him when Carol couldn't. And y'all know, family don't always do right by you. And in Nathan's family, there was a lot of that going on. And even so, Nathan, as a little goober, they said that he was bright and athletic, but that he also had mood swings that were severe, where he would be angry and violent. And I'm thinking that Mrs. Carol probably passed some of her mental instability to her son. It happens. That's no shame. The shit happens. Well, by the time that Nathan made it to his preteen and teen years, they say he had started having episodes. Like, he started being real antisocial sometimes for whatever reasons. And then came the criminalistic behaviors. You see, Nate started jumping out the porch right into a pair of handcuffs. In his teen years, this little nigga racked up quite the rap sheet. And some of his greatest hits were thievery and fighting and carrying weapons and truancy. And kind of like the same thing we covered last week in that other Colorado case, Nate is going in and out of jail, but nothing is sticking. Yeah, they keep giving him a pass. And though he is becoming a frequent flyer down here at the juvie jail, right? Well, eventually, while he in and out of jail, they did get around to diagnosing Nate with bipolar disorder, like what his mama had. But as far as treatment goes, it looks like that's where the ball was dropped. Y'all know, nobody was taking the time to see that he went to the doctor that would monitor him and write the prescriptions for the medicine that was needed to, keep him even. But Nate just out here freeballing it with his mental status, and nobody realizes that a storm is brewing and it's gaining strength inside this nigga. Now, mind you, Nate is young. While all this is going on, he's like 15 to 17. He's going to school, but, he's mostly just passing through. His teachers say a lot of times he was disruptive and unpredictable. That's not a good look for a child, because at this point in time, he is still a minor. And again, there should have been someone there to pick up the pieces. I mean, shit, his daddy was in the military, both as active duty and as a civilian. I mean, he got benefits. Those benefits should have been used to make sure that his son got the help that he needed. So, yeah, Daddy Jerry, I'm giving you the side eye like a motherfucker, because y'all had the resources. I'm just saying. Well, since school ain't really his thing, Nathan does try his hand at a job. He goes and he fills out an application at the Chuck E. Cheese in Aurora, and they give him a job in May of 1993. Y'all remember Chuck E. Cheese, right? That's where the babies go turn up. Big mouth scaring their asses and shit. Kids running and ripping everywhere. Can I tell y'all a secret, New Orleans Nation? I hate Chuck E. Cheese. Oh my God, I was so glad when my kids grew out that phase. My Lord. I promise you, I refuse to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Not going. When my grandbaby came along, y'all know, the one who's at the end of the podcast every week, when she came along and got to the age where that was her club, she'd be like, Nana, take me to Chuck E. Cheese. And I'd be like, honey, your daddy gonna take you. Nana don't do Chuck E. Cheese. Don't do Chucky or the cheese. None of that shit. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, Nate has a job. And that's a good thing, right? I mean, even though he is struggling with his mental, he is trying to be a part of society and do the things that society say you got to do as an adult. Because at this point in time, he is indeed legally an adult. It's 1993. Nate is 19 years old. He has graduated from Overland High School in 92. And, he got a high school diploma, but he also got some mental challenges. So his career options might have been limited. So I think that, getting this little job at Chuck E. Cheese, it's at least going to give him some experience. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like Nate liked the job. Or maybe he liked the idea of having a job. While he was content with what he was doing, the people he worked with, not so much. Basically, Nate's coworker said that, if he was feeling good, then he was a joy to work with. But if he was feeling off, just one of them days when I want to be all alone. Come on, Monica, y'all know what I'm talking about. If he was having one of them kind of days, well, let's just say he made the work environment uncomfortable. Now, I'm going to tell you, I am totally reaching with what I'm about to get into, because I don't have any proof of this as far as receipts go, if you will. But New Orleans Nation, if y'all would allow me to get my conjecture on for a minute. You see, Colorado is one of them places where frequently a person of color might find themselves being the only fly in the milk, if you will. And in my experience, I won't speak for nobody else, sometimes you have to conform to the characteristics of your environment in order to get along. That's also known as code switching. You suddenly don't fit in, and then the shit in the game starts, right? I'm not saying that this is what happened for factual in this case, but I think that the people at the Chuck E. Cheese in Aurora, they were more flower arrangers working there than there were melanated people. I believe that. And I know that, certain types of jobs, you do have to have a happy-go-lucky attitude. And working with children at the Kids King of Diamonds, you got to be happy and smiley and good mood all the time, because if you're working with the public or the public can see you, you got to put on the facade, right? So if Nathan is walking around his bitch like a sourpuss, then yeah, that could cause some issues. But what was Nate's job at Chuck E. Cheese? Was he the bouncer? Was he wait staff? Was he a game operator? Or was he in the kitchen, out of sight, out of mind? We don't know. We can assume, but we don't know, okay? What we do know is that after a while, somebody felt like Nate's services were no longer needed. He was fired by the general manager, a man named William Mickelson, in the summer of 1993. July 1993 to be exact, just 2 months into his little career at the Chuck E. Cheese. And New One Nation, if you have been a part of the workforce for any amount of time, you may know what it's like to get the boot. It ain't the most pleasant of experiences, especially if you wasn't expecting it. But, after the initial sting and a couple of fuck that job sessions with your homies, you bounce back and you go find you something else. We just won't put this job on the resume, right? Because please believe, the answer on the application as to whether or not we've ever been fired is always no. No, not at all. And for most people, that's how it would go down. But that's not how it went down for Nate. He did not take his firing well at all. Like, he didn't move on. He did not get over it. Quite the opposite. He stewed in it. He let rage build up inside of him about how the fuck they gonna have the nerve to fire me. And that's all he wanted to talk about to anybody. And as time went on, it didn't get no better. Like, Nathan is basically fixated on how he was wronged and how he gonna get his lick back. Now, as humans, we have all had a thought flicker through our minds on how we would show our asses to get back at somebody that's done us wrong, what we perceive to have been done wrong, right? And these thoughts, they may or may not involve felonious actions. I'm not here to judge, but for most people, that's all it is. It's a daydream, a fantasy, right? But remember, Nathan is a diagnosed bipolar. He has schizophrenia that also runs through the bloodline. And who knows what else is on the buffet line of mental defects that they don't even know about yet, right? So all of that to say is Nathan's reactions to situations can be a bit more extreme, explosive, also known as extra, than other people's, right? And I also need you to understand, Nathan suffers from some mental health issues, but he got people in his life. Like, he is not living in an isolated bubble. He is interacting and engaging with his friends and people he knows, like former co-workers at the Chuck E. Cheese, and he is telling them all how he gonna get even with William, the general manager's punk ass. Because you remember, William is the man that did the actual firing of Nathan, right? So, all of that to say, people know that Nathan is talking reckless, but everybody just assumes that it's just talk. 3 to 5 months later after the firing, okay. Man, they about to find out that Nate was not playing. This was not a drill. This nigga is about to let it be known just how much he did not appreciate being terminated. And it all went down December 14th, 1993. That was a Tuesday, y'all. Now, I don't work at Chuck E. Cheese, but I done been in there enough times to know Tuesday, that's a light day for somebody that work at Chuck E. Cheese. It's not a lot of people packed in there like it is on the weekend when everybody off, the kids out of school, shit like that, I'm thinking that everybody has come in to work at ease, knowing that, it's gonna be a light night tonight. One of the workers, the dude that washes the dishes, he was actually off that night, but he switched schedules with another dude because he wanted to make a little extra change for Christmas. And okay, we've all been there, right? So at work at the Chuck E. Cheese tonight, we've got 20-year-old Bobby Stevens. This the dude who came in on his day off. We got 19-year-old Sylvia Crowell, 17-year-old Ben Grant, 17-year-old Colleen O'Connor, and 50-year-old Margaret Colbert. Margaret was the manager on duty that night. So we got 5 people there: a cook, a dishwasher, a cashier, a busser, and a manager, right? Okay, so as the night goes on, at some point in time, guess who comes to the restaurant? Nathan. He comes in and he gets something to eat and he plays a few games. First of all, there should have been a flashing neon sign that some shit ain't right. What the fuck kind of adult go hang out at Chuck E. Cheese? That's pedophilic behavior in my book. I mean, this is legit one of the only places that you don't take your grown ass to unless you got a child or you are going for a child's birthday party. Talking about going to Chuck E. Cheese to get something to eat, and everybody knows that Chuck E. Cheese food is nasty as fuck, but this man is in here to kick it at the Chuck E. Cheese and nobody sees anything weird about that. Okay, well, they didn't because nobody was paying Nate any attention. Not like that. I mean, Nate was conversing with the people. So-and-so here, so-and-so still work here. I mean, he is talking to these people. He used to work there. And again, nobody sees anything troublesome about that. Well, they also didn't see Nate slip into the bathroom right before closing time, and he didn't come out no more. They just assumed he left. So it's like 10 o'clock now. The children are all gone and the restaurant is closed. And the 5 employees, they all doing what they do to clean up and get ready to get the fuck up out of there, right? And then Nate comes out the bathroom. 19-year-old Sylvia was cleaning the salad bar when Nate shot her. She was the first one to get got. Nate shot her in her right ear. Baby, she woke up touching the hem of Jesus' garment. The next person to get shot was Ben. Ben was vacuuming the floor. Nathan walked right up on him and blasted him in the face right by his left eye. Now he too communing with Jesus. Now Colleen, she see Ben get shot and she instantly hit her knees and started begging Nate to please don't shoot me. Please, please, I ain't seen nothing. I won't say nothing. Just please don't kill me. Shit, Nate is not studying none of them tears and none of her pleading. Nate shoots her through her temple and she too is gone to the upper room. Now, Bobby, the dishwasher, he was out back taking a smoke break. Now, he hear popping sounds, but in his mind, he work at a kid spot. Somebody must be in there popping balloons. So he walks back in after smoking his cigarette. This motherfucker walks right into a bullet in the jaw, like instantly. And when he was shot, he just hit the floor. But guess what? He is not out. He is laying on the floor playing like he dead. Baby, I know he was laying on that floor thinking, I know I shouldn't have swapped days today. I should have had my ass home. How the fuck I come in on my off day to get fucked up? I could be at home chilling right now instead of in goddamn Chuck E. Cheese playing possum. Man, stop it. Now, at this point, Margaret, the store manager, she's the only one left. She tries to reason with Nate, but he ain't trying to hear that shit. Nate frog marches her ass to the office and makes her open the safe. As soon as the door opened, Nate put one through her ear. That was the last thing she heard in life was them screams and that bullet. But as she lay on the floor, her body was still twitching. So Nate took his last bullet and put it through her other ear. Now ain't that about a bitch? Large Marge got dealt with and she wasn't even the manager that fired Nate. This is crazy. It wasn't even her. At this point, Nate done put everybody to sleep. He rummaging around looking for shit to steal. He take Margaret's pocketbook, dump the contents all over her body, and then he use her bag to put anything that he steal in, right? But what he don't know is that Bobby, he done jumped up and ran out the back door. Bobby runs down the block a little bit towards the Mill Pond apartment complex, and he beat on somebody's door, tell them what happened, and they call 911. But Nate is still at the Chuck E. Cheese stealing. He has gotten the night deposit, which is about a stack and a half, and that's a little bag, It's not enough for a lawyer or bail money, but if you ain't got a Chuck E. Cheese, that's good money right there. But Nate wanted more. Yes, Nate wanted more from the Chuck E. Cheese. So what did he do? He grabbed some tokens. What? Who the fuck? Nigga, you grabbed tokens? Some keychains? What? Sir, keychains and game tokens. You ain't got no children. And after the shit you just did, you should never want to go nowhere near a goddamn Chuck E. Cheese again in life. Not to mention, they ain't gonna let your ass in. You gonna be the first person ever banned from Chuck E. Cheese. That is until the popo snatched that ass up. Because, sir, you just shot and killed 4 people and wounded a 5th. But at this point, Nate thinks that he has deaded everybody that was up in there. And he done got away with the shit scot-free. So when he leaves Chuck E. Cheese, he goes to one of his homies' house and instantly gets diarrhea of the mouth. This puss-ass boy, he tell his homeboy Carl Wilson what the fuck he just did at the Chuck E. Cheese in excruciating detail. And then got the nerve to ask Carl, hey man, you gonna say I was over here with you? Oh shit. Carl was like, my name Bennett, don't put me in it, nigga. So, Nate was like, all right. He stayed at Carl's for a while. And then he left Carl's house and went to his girlfriend's house. Yes, Nathan has a girlfriend. Her name is Tracy Leckman. He'd been over at Tracy's house for quite a while, just kicking it. And at some point in time, he calls home to his mama's house. Now, Mama Carol, she like, hey man, why the police at my house? They talking about they want to talk to you about some shit at the Chuck E. Cheese. The fuck you done did? You need to come over here and handle this little business. So he like, all right, mama, tell them I'm gonna talk to them a little later. We can chop it up. And so he hangs up with his mama, jumps in the shower, and starts pouring peroxide all over him to get rid of the gunshot residue. You suffer from mental illness, but nigga, you smarter than a motherfucker. Now, back at the Chuck E. Cheese, while Nate was over making his rounds, the police, they pull up on two wheels because in 1993, killing 4 people at work was some big time shit. They pull up at the Chuck E. Cheese. They go inside, they find the bodies of all of the employees. They are all dead on arrival. So the detectives, they go over to the hospital to talk to Bobby because, again, he's the sole survivor. And Bobby tells them that it was Nathan Dunlap that did the shooting. He explains that Nate was fired over the summer and how he had been at the restaurant. I mean, he told it all. He got shot in his job, but he can still talk. And so the police, they're familiar with Nathan's name. So they go right on over to his mama's house. Hence, when he did finally call, they was already there waiting. Baby, 12 hours later, he did show up and they grabbed that ass right on up. And Nate didn't have no fight in him. I mean, he gave it all up. He told the police where his gym bag was, and the gym bag had the gloves that he wore as well as the .25 caliber gun that he used. And that lined up with what Bobby had said, because Bobby said the shooter had on gloves that had the knuckles out, and the gloves they found in Nathan's bag didn't have the knuckles. Bobby said it was a silver gun. It was a silver gun. And then they had all of those shell casings at the scene. All of that shit matched Nathan's gun. So basically, this is kind of slam dunkish. All we need to do now is crank up the jury. So Nathan is charged with 4 counts of deliberative murder, 4 counts of felony murder, attempted first-degree murder after deliberation, attempted first-degree felony murder, first-degree burglary, first-degree assault, aggravated robbery, and theft. They let it be known before the ink was dry that they was going for the death penalty. Your little young ass, we ain't playing with you. Not at all. Now, he made his first court appearance on December 16th, 1993, and he was held without bond. And I'm gonna tell you, they were deep in that mud, too. Like, Nathan had 5 armed escorts from the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department. Damn. I mean, I thought that was a lot of people too. Well, apparently it was needed because the peoples being the Salt Gang, oh honey, they was 38 hot that this nigga had desecrated the goddamn Chuck E. Cheese and had done fucked around and disconnected 4 members in good standing of the Mayonnaise Casserole Caucus peoples. And they was threatening to come handle their little business in a more old school strangle nigga up kind of way. So, they was rolling deep to make sure that nobody got the opportunity to make good on their threat to cut Nate water off. Shit, Nate was the one that needed protection at this point. And, this shit take time. It took a minute for this case to work its way through the system. They wanted a speedy trial, but murder trials are messy and complicated, and there are all kind of ways that shit just ends up getting drugged the fuck out. And it wouldn't be until January 12th of 1996 that Nathan's trial would begin. It took 6 weeks from start to finish, and when it was all said and done, they found that ass guilty on all charges on February 26th, 1996. So now we move into the sentencing phase, and they kicked that off on March the 7th, 1996, where the jury put that ass down for disconnection. You got to go. You can't stay here no longer, honey. They made it official on May 17th, 1996, when they formally sentenced him to die 4 times plus 113 years. That whole reincarnation thing. We're going to make sure that you in prison forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And so y'all know what's next. Death penalty cases, we got automatic appeals, none of which worked out into Nathan's favor. But while he did not win on appeal, he did come up. He came up by way of the governor of Colorado. His name was John Hickenlooper. Hickenlooper, that's a name, John Hickenlooper. Well, in 2013, Governor Hickenlooper, he granted Nathan a temporary reprieve from getting his water turned off. He said it was because Nathan probably didn't get a fair shake because the death penalty ain't fair to people of color. Say what, Hickenlooper? Man, if you don't shut your ass up, just shut the fuck up, because that was some stupid shit to say. This nigga killed 4 people that didn't have shit to do with why he was mad in the first goddamn place. Where's the fairness in that? Baby, that temporary state of execution turned into a permanent one, though. They basically said, we ain't gonna kill your ass. And that's what they did, because in March of 2020, the state of Colorado abolished the death penalty and commuted everybody who was on death row to life without parole. Nathan is inmate number 89148 at the Colorado State Penitentiary. And that, New Nation, is the story of Nathan Dunlap, the nigga that shot up a motherfucking Chuck E. Cheese. Just trifling, sir. Just like they rank the crimes and pedophiles and child molesters are at the bottom of the totem pole. If we're ranking shootings, sir, you are the equivalent of a pedophile fucking child molester. You shot up the goddamn Chuck E. Cheese. Do you understand that was probably the only Chuck E. Cheese in Aurora? So you fucked up the church's money. It was goddamn birthday parties and shit planned for that weekend, and goddamn Chuck E. Cheese is goddamn crime scene because you got blood and shit every goddamn where. Like, sir, the children, that's their club. That's their King of Diamonds. That's their goddamn Magic City. And you done fucked up the church's money and got the club closed down. Sir, Chuck E. Cheese? There are no words. Nowhere is safe. You can get it anywhere. And that's really why I wanted to do this case. It's too many people out here holding on to their sanity by a hair follicle. Today, you really got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready everywhere. Nathan was a dumbass. He was mentally unstable and crashed out in the most fuckerish of ways. Like, I ain't condoning it, but if it was so important for you to kill the man that fired you, why the fuck you didn't make sure that he was at work? I mean, you came and you hung out at the Chuck E. Cheese. You seen he wasn't there. You had the opportunity to leave and come back another day when the man you wanted to kill was there. But no, instead, you decide Chuck E. Cheese as an institution has got to pay. And so you in here talking to these people and then you turn around and kill them? No, sir. No sympathy. You may have a mental defect, but you function well. You told everybody that would listen that you was gonna fuck them motherfuckers at the Chuck E. Cheese up. And you did that. You got a girlfriend, you got homies, you play basketball, so you are socially adjusted enough to know better. No sympathy. Fresh out, baby. As far as I'm concerned, I hope they don't use no Vaseline when that big nigga named Tiny is tearing that ass up, because this was a senseless killing. And not to mention, did y'all realize that everybody caught a shot to the head? Like, everybody, straight dome shots. You meant motherfucking business. You intended to send everybody in this bitch to see the king. You went up in there with 6 bullets and used all 6. Where the fuck you get a gun from, Nathan? Do it matter? Not really. In America, you can get a gun before you can get a job. Like, real talk, and y'all know I'm being dead ass on that. Which is why, New Nation, be mindful of what's going on at your job. I mean, we all laugh and kiki about so-and-so getting walked out. But the comeback and to set it off is real in 2025 and beyond. And innocent people are dying from motherfuckers who are mad because they lost their job and they're coming back to take revenge on everybody. For those managers of people that have the authority to hire and fire, to you I say, be mindful of how you let somebody go. It's a tough job and somebody got to do it. And if that falls under your job description, then you got to do what you got to do. But some of y'all take pleasure in this shit. Be mindful, the world has changed. This was back in 1993, some 32 years ago, and it was an anomaly then. Now it happens all the time. And now we got all of these high-powered rifles that people are walking around with. So please, please, please be careful. Don't let your attitude and your mouth write a check that everybody's ass has got to cash. Let me tell you, at work, I am cordial, but I keep it pushing, boo. I look at everybody. I'm trying to read body language, how you talking, how you walking. Are you walking up in here with a whole ass trench coat? You got a big old bag. Like, baby, I'm on you because I'm also not the one that's going to hold the door for you. Honey, you going to have to swipe your badge. Honey, there is no piggybacking off of me, baby. If you supposed to be in here, that badge going to let you in. All right, that's all I really have to say about this. Again, I'm coming at this more from a point of safety for you guys. It's a lot going on in 2025, and I literally want y'all to be safe because this scenario happens over and over and over again, sometimes with a twist. And just like a couple of weeks ago, somebody shot up the CDC right here in Atlanta. Like, people are on edge and bullets don't have no names on them. All I'm just saying is be careful. Really, really, really be careful. And that's all I have to say about this. I cannot wait to hear what y'all had to say about it. Y'all know how to get at me. On social media, I am Melanin Mayhem Podcast on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And I am Melanin Mayhem PC on X. You can email me at melaninmayhempodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget the website for all of your goodies is melaninmayhempodcast.com. This week's New Orleans Nation shout out goes to Miss Natalie, who left a message on Spotify. And Natalie said, "Ooh, Virgo season is here for our country girl. I really hope you tell us about your shenanigans. Happy birthday, my favorite country girl." Thank you, Natalie. You know I had to read yours for the birthday episode, honey. Thank you so much. And yes, I am in the thick of all my Virgo-ness, and I cannot wait to tell y'all all about it because this is just trip 1 of 3 planned for the next 16 days. But until I get back, y'all continue to hold it down for me and pass the word that everybody needs to be listening to the Melanin Mayhem Podcast. I gotta go. Y'all, it's like 3 a.m. I got a doctor's appointment at 8:30 in the morning. I gotta be at work at 11 and I don't get off until 11 p.m. because I'm working 2 jobs today. But I needed to get this episode recorded because now I've got everything I need recorded. I just need to now edit 3 episodes and get them posted. And I be goddamn if I am not going to get that done between today being Monday, well, actually Tuesday morning, bright and early. Actually, it's 3:48 a.m. I have got to get my ass in bed. I'm going to get these episodes edited and hung. Although I'm going to try to pull out as much breathing as possible. Y'all might get a little heavy breathing. There's something here. I'm anal, but I'm so close. I have not packed. I got stuff out. I got concepts of a plan on what I need to do. But y'all know it's all love, and y'all know how this thing ends. So while I'm gone, make sure y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant, and now and forevermore, remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. It's one love, New Orleans Nation, and your favorite country girl is out of here. Mwah!
Ooh-wee, Nana, you did that.